Wow, we're actually seeing an AI sprite of Kohaku. What the heck? That's a very clever use of the credits. That's actually clever. That's actually too clever for the credits. Wait, can we move her? Nope. Man, this animated music slaps. Alright, I'm gonna go mute. I know. That must have been a weird edit by the time we get to this. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and whatever time zone you're in. This is not a walkthrough, and this is certainly not some meta commentary. You guessed it, we're on the verdict video of Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger 9. Let's get reviewing, shall we? Okay, so if you're a new or returning viewer or subscriber, this is kind of what I'm going to be doing since I did it with the Chia reviews. So I am actually gonna, in between reviewing the game, I will actually show gameplay footage I have done with the game in the past and what I've done in the present, but really mostly in the past. So with my presentation of actually discussing of what I give the game, part one. Part one is basically talking about my score, and I don't do 0.5, don't do 0.1, and so on. I just give it like a single digit. This is what I give it out of 10, and that is my definite score, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So that's part one, and then I immediately go to part two, which is discussing the negative. It can be like several negatives that pretty much got it to that score, and that's understandable. And you can actually, if you play the game yourself, either you'll agree with my negative or you'll disagree with my negative. That's part two. So I go in either in extensive if I really want to just like really crap on the game, or I will just make it like a minor nitpick that I just can't ignore, but it was something that I couldn't ignore. Part three, talking about the positive, be extensive, show actual gameplay footage of my positive, go into real detail about the positive, and that takes up most of the review video. And then the last part, part four, talking about the score again, concluding thoughts, and what is going to be the schedule for future videos, and then go on to the next game. And then rinse and repeat. I wanted to do this because I want to get you guys engaged, and I kind of like doing the whole gameplay, and of course I'm doing it with Share Factory Studios, so it looks more professional. Well, I'm not trying to be professional, I'm a gamer, what do you expect? But I like that new kind of style that I'm doing, because it kind of gets me opportunity to be creative and kind of add some really cool, solid gameplay that gets you invested. Now, this is kind of a disclaimer, guys. I kind of, with the opening, that was the ending credits of the game, so that's kind of major spoilers. So if you haven't played the game or want to play the game or plan on playing the game, this is going to be some major spoilers. I mean, you saw the whole walkthrough once it posts, but you're seeing the whole walkthrough. If you didn't want to be spoiled, you would have not watched the walkthrough. You would have played the game yourself. Well, you've been warned. Prepare for major story spoilers. Absolutely. So, yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, sorry, you're on the wrong video. But if you don't care about being spoiled, you're on the right video. Now, let's get started. I guess let's get reviewing. So, what do I give this Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger 9? I will give it a 9 out of 10. I know, that actually surprised me. And if I had to pick between the two, Gunvolt Chronicles with fighting X-Layer, absolutely, Gunvolt Chronicle, it holds up. I'll discuss why I give it a 9 out of 10, but let's focus on the negative. And let's actually get started first, and I'll actually kind of explain while I'm on the go. Alright, so negative. I don't think the story was the strongest. I don't think it was, like, bad. And I really don't think it was bad. No, absolutely not. In fact, I think the story, if you played the previous 2 games, you kind of... I don't think it's essential, because this is a spin-off game. And I won't show a clip in terms of the negative, because I couldn't find anything specific to the negative. I just don't think the story is strongest, but it's kind of like a Mega Man spiritual successor, so... I knew the story was not going to be the strongest, but at least they tried. I think you should play the first 2 games, like Azura Striker Gunvolt 1 and 2, before you get to the spin-off game, because, spoiler alerts, this whole spin-off game is based on the bad ending of Azura Striker Gunvolt 1. Because it's the fact that that's a major spoiler, and I'm sorry if you've been spoiled, but if you're not going to play the game, or if you haven't played the game, then you're in some spoiler territory, But yeah, this is the bad ending. This is the bad future of strictly Azura Striker Gunvolt 1, and I highly enjoyed that. But I guess that will kind of defeat me playing the first 2 games, but this is a spin-off game, so of course they want to do a self-contained story, and I get that. But it does take a little bit of time when you first start the game to get to that point, and then when you get to the midpoint, then the story kicks off and it gets interesting. But there is that kind of like lingering kind of like sense of I have to play, that I'm in the back of my mind. I was thinking like, you know, I probably should play the first game so I could actually understand a little bit. There were some actually specific moments, and maybe Asmov, I feel like he's from the first game, but I feel like important moments like that, if you play the first 2 games, it has a much bigger impact. But as a guy who doesn't have the access to play the first 2 games, I had to kind of deal with this. I know that I should have shown some gameplay footage of my reaction, but that's what my walkthrough is. You can watch my walkthrough and know my reaction to it. I don't think the story's bad. No, absolutely. I don't think that's like a major negative. I just think you have to play the first 2 games, or know enough about the first 2 games to kind of have a bigger impact. So that's kind of where it's not like a big deal, and I can't even give that like a solid negative. But it does take a little bit, and when I mean that the story is not the best, it does take a little bit to get into that pacing before it kicks into overdrive and then gets interesting. And it does get interesting towards the second half, because major plot revelation happens, finding out about Copen's backstory really kind of solidifies it. Yeah, it's like one of those, like, it's a self-contained story, but there's that lingering in the back of my mind that you had to play the previous 2 games to kind of get invested into it. Well, while I'm doing this, I might as well pretty much do, or I guess play it, but that will be kind of my second point. So, yeah, I don't think it's the best story. I don't think it's like, it takes a little bit to get going, but it's not like bad, but yeah, you kind of have to play the first 2 games to kind of get the grand scope. Otherwise, you're going to be kind of not lost, but you're not going to be as invested. So that's a negative. I think it's pretty like a subjective negative, and even I was trying to have a hard time finding a negative, but that was kind of the only negative I could find. Alright, now let's talk about the positive. Well, case in point, great 2D and then hand-drawn animation when it actually does it. When it does it, yeah, pretty much the hand-drawn animation and the 2D sprites are fantastic. They have a great artistic flair, and every time I see them, it always involves. Case in point. I might as well show you. Case in point. We'll do the medical center, because I think that's the best way to kind of get you guys engaged. I'm not actually like playing the entire game, but I just wanted to show you the 2D sprite, just to kind of show you. And I'll skip the cutscenes too. Yeah, like hand-drawn animation like that. But look at this 2D sprite. This took time. I mean, it's not as like advanced as like 3D animation or like God of War, Ragnarok, and all that. But look at this. Look at this amount of detail with the 2D sprites and animation. And it just shows everywhere. Even when the character or the boss characters are doing like the animation flare, it just really shows, and it's so cool. And while I'm doing this gameplay, we might as well go to the next gameplay, and I'll show you guys what we're talking about. Okay, cool. Now that we're back, another positive about this game is about the precise gameplay that that is engaging, but it also keeps evolving. When we learn about the dash and then pretty much all of this cool stuff, along with the precise gameplay, and what I mean it keeps evolving, we get cool X weapons. Electric attack, this kind of... yeah, once you log on, like right there, you get melee attack. That's so cool. You get a gravity ability. You get this ability that's a gravity bomb. That's so cool. You get this ability. It's like an energy attack. Once you charge it up, it's super freaking cool. Along with that, you get a cyclone ability that's really should not be. That's too cool than it should be. And then you also get... hold on. You get this. I don't even know why that's there, but it's so stupid. You can even do machines if you hit them right. Along with that, we get another ability too. The Darkness Trigger. And it's so freaking cool. Every single time. And that's where just everything goes in overdrive. Yes, it weakens your health, and you have to basically keep killing opponents, otherwise your health is gonna drain. It's like you have to like literally sate your hunger. It's so cool. It's the coolest ability, but it's like a double-edged sword, and I love doing it every time. But that's what I mean. Along with that, that's kind of one of the other positive. Along with the X weapons with precise gameplay, nothing, even when you die or just kind of like fall into the platform, that's kind of your own fault because there's just it's so precise. When he's doing the rocket boost, when he's doing that, another point, I guess we'll just use a city slum as a kind of like a, well, engagement in this case. Yeah, nothing just feels wasted in terms of the gameplay, in terms of just the movement. Everything just feels like they gel together. Even though this is kind of like a weak pea shooter, once you kind of like unlock it with the kudos, it just gets so much cooler. And then you kind of like get an ebb and flow. Case in point. Along with that, and I'll show this with the next clip, it's definitely another positive, is the excellent boss fights. It just feels... oh, right. Your weakness is Cyclone. I remember that much. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. That was different. Alright, cool. You're back. So the excellent boss fights, along with their artistic flair, the boss fights just keep you guessing all the time. It really does. Whether it's just basically you're fighting against a pop idol, a guy with a bomb fetish, or just or someone with basically electric samurai badass. Let me just try again. Electric samurai badass. And we'll roll the next clips to show you why these boss fights hold up to this time. Oh, okay, I guess everyone has that alternate Berserk trigger. Oh, Devil trigger or Berserk trigger? Shit. You just went full anime! Ah! What the actual... oh gosh! Ah! Oh, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Oh, shit.
任務完了。
Oh, okay. Okay, I see how this is. And good, you're back. Okay, so along with that too, the boss fights just challenge you, and they keep evolving too, and I love that too. You fight them about 3 times, but they never let up. They always test your abilities, and they keep getting cooler. And that includes the last boss fight. I will not show you the clip of the last boss fight in Osmoth. I guess that's a spoiler too, because I think you should experience it yourself. They just, from the normal level to the fearless level, my gosh, those bosses will just hand you your lunch. They will eat your lunch in the most coolest way. And it's also really refreshing that you get to fight them again in the special mission, because if you fight them on the hardest level, guarantee you'll get your teeth kicked in. But man, the boss fights are just so creative, challenging. They're creative, challenging, and keep you guessing. And even when you get to the special mission, they still keep you guessing. And I highly appreciate that. The boss fights had to be repeated in the special mission because they're such a delight and so fun to fight. And then you get the boss rush, which is kind of like a coup de grace to the whole experience. That's just what I'm saying. Another positive too that I was kind of surprised is the collectibles. Whether it's just collecting the emblems or just kind of getting a higher score in terms of the kudos, yeah, it never lets up. You are motivated to get the emblems because they just give you more currency with the upgrade system. And with the upgrade system, when you get all the emblems and kind of increases all your kudos, you get cool stuff. You get cool stuff like auto recovery when you do the overdrive, or you get more bullets to regen. And then you get to regenerate your health if you use a SP skill. Freaking awesome. I love that. I really do. But yeah, that's the collectibles, and the kudos just really gel well, and you're motivated to get them. Very much so. Now, another one that's a major positive too is, of course, the music. Well, let's roll the next clip. Alright, good, you're back. Now, here's what I'm talking about in terms of the music. Now, excuse me, let me get into the music. And that's what I mean. That's just a snippet of the music playing, but it's absolutely fantastic. None of the music lets up in terms of the anime music. I think the original soundtrack, when it's just between the stages, it's good. It's not the best, but I think it's good. But this is where the money hits, where the money rings. It's the anime music. It goes hard, and this girl is singing her heart out. You can feel the passion in all the music. It never lets up. And when you get to 1,000 kudos or more, the music just never lets up, and it's the coolest thing. It's the most satisfying and coolest thing ever. I love it. I love unlocking the anime music all the time. And I love when we use the Twin Shredder too. That's kind of where the artistic flair comes into play too. But yeah, the anime music slaps when it's just the anime music. When we get a power up in terms of the anime music, it's so fun. It's absolutely fun. It's every time it's fun. I can't just say it never gets fun. Now, another one that's pretty much, it's brutal and I kind of like it, and I'm gonna show you. Yeah, I have to say another positive is the difficulty levels between Gutless, Cautious, and Fearless. It's so balanced. It's not unfair. Yeah, you lose all your kudos in Fearless, but it's absolutely satisfying across the board. I never wanted to not try Cautious or Fearless in the previous levels I played before, because it's so balanced and it doesn't feel unfair. And it's so challenging, but the bosses are just still balanced, that you don't feel cheap, or some boss just feels like they're gonna kick your teeth in. Well, I might as well show you, of course. But I would say, play it in Cautious or Fearless, you're gonna have a ball with it, and yes, it will test your metal, but it's super fun to do it all the freaking time. Yes, you will actually get salty, but it's absolutely fun. That's why I'm gonna show you of how fun it is doing it in Fearless. Let's go! It absolutely keeps you guessing. Yes, this is the second boss fight, but... And yes, you lose your kudos, but it doesn't feel unfair. And then the best part is, you find out your opponent's weakness, too. It doesn't matter what difficulty level it is, it's just absolutely fun. And the fact that it gives you reload speed too, and it never feels cheap, is absolutely amazing. And you're still able to dodge very quickly, you're able to keep up with that, and you already know the enemy's attack because you already fought them like an easier or normal level. It never feels cheap. And there's an auto log-on too, and you can dodge like non-stop, and you don't care if you lose kudos because there's a sense of ebb and flow. It's absolutely fun, and it keeps up with the momentum of fast-paced action, which is done exceptionally well. That kind of sums it up of why the difficulty level. I was just fighting the guy for just like 2 to 3 minutes, and it never got boring just fighting him on higher difficulty level. Even though I'm just repeating the same boss fights, or just replaying the same previous level, you are motivated to get kudos level, or you're motivated because you feel so satisfied because of how balanced the difficulty level is. Perfectly balanced. And I'm not going to finish that meme. But still, I just found that very unique, and I found that very enjoyable that the difficulty level never compromised of just being balanced. I just liked that it was balanced for the sake of being balanced. Yeah. Oh, that I appreciate very much so. And the last positive, and I did show this earlier, the upgrade system, whenever you do earn kudos, depending on what difficulty level you play, is actually well fleshed out. You have basically auto hover for evasion, Anthem. Anthem is so fun. And it really helps you just really in those grueling, hard battles. And when it activates, it's super fun. Just watch that clip that I did before, or just watch my walkthrough. It's absolutely fun. But along with all these kind of like essential abilities that you really need to just kind of survive Fearless or Cautious, all these other upgrade systems are very fun. They never get boring. It actually kind of enhances the gameplay experience when you actually do. Or if you want to make it absolutely kind of hard as balls, then you can just kind of do heaven or hell or all or nothing when as soon as you unlock it. It makes the game more brutal, and that's what I very much appreciate. So I guess that's it with part 3. So that's kind of all my positive, and how many minutes did I do? Well, 20 minutes, but man, yeah, IT creates. Yeah, keep making games. You guys are good at it. You guys are good at it. You guys have a sense of style of what you want to do, and that's nothing disappointing. Yeah, I will obviously defend that 9 out of 10. This was one of these. It's a great spiritual successor to Mech Man. It's fair, it's fresh, it's modern, it keeps me guessing with its boss battles. I have no major complaints besides the story not being the strongest, but that's a minor nitpick of an overall complete package. Just the fact that you have a kind of OG campaign that just is really well done, really well done. And then you add side content as a special mission along with the kind of like capping off with the boss rush. It's kind of like almost Chef's Kiss, but it's almost there, but I highly enjoyed it. So yeah, 9 out of 10 is very much appropriate. So I guess we'll let this music keep playing, and I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that very much sums it up. So of course you can hit that like, comment, or subscribe, and the rest of the schedule is going to be, yeah, I'm going to be just doing multiplayer for Fighting X Layer. After doing it, then we'll put a review video for it, but I'm still working on it. So yeah, for this is it. This is actually the last video for Luminous Avenger 9. I hope you guys have fun. I hope you enjoyed the moments. what is your favorite Mega Man or spiritual successor to Mega Man? I guess what is also the worst? Well, anyway, I guess we'll move on to the next clip, but I meant to say what the schedule is going to be. Yep, I already did. Man, I'm getting tongue-tied today. So, let's move on to the next clip.